Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about something that nearly killed my game, Duck Norris Tales. About 6 months into development, I hit a major roadblock. You know that feeling when you've been ignoring a problem for so long, but it kept growing until you can't look away anymore? That's where I was. I had to sit face to face with myself and admit that there was a serious issue, and if I couldn't solve it, there was no point in continuing development. So I had this vision of Duck Norris Tales being this awesome Metroidvania with guns. So naturally I did what every developer would do. I started adding more features, more guns, more enemies, and more everything. I spent weeks perfecting the pixel art for every weapon, making sure every animation frame was just right. The sound effects, I must have thrown hundreds of samples to find the perfect pew-pew for every gun. I convinced myself that if I made everything look and sound amazing enough, the gameplay would somehow fix itself. But here's the thing, none of that mattered. The guns didn't change how you played the game. They were just different skins of the same basic mechanic. Different colors of just paint on that same canvas. I was so focused on making it look good that I completely lost sight of how it felt to play. And one day I was playtesting for the 100th time and I realized that the game was boring. I had all these systems in place, enemy AI, weapon switching, menus, but when it came to the actual game loop, there was this void. You know those games when you play for hours and then realize you're still in the tutorial section, but you just don't care because you're having so much fun learning the mechanics? My game didn't have any of that. That's when I decided that I need to take a step back. I need to study games that got it right, not just play them, but really analyze why they worked. So I looked at Cuphead. Sure, it's gorgeous with that animation style, but that's not what makes it great. Every boss fight felt like a crazy dance. You're learning patterns, adapting your strategy, and the satisfaction comes from mastering that rhythm. And the art just enhances the gameplay instead of carrying it. Same thing with Forgive Me Father. It's got this fantastic retro horror aesthetic, but it never gets in the way of the fast-paced shooting, and every visual element serves the core gameplay loop. The art style creates an atmosphere while the gameplay keeps you engaged. And even tried Alien Isolation. It's not just about amazing graphics and sound design. Every mechanical choice serves the core experience of being hunted. The game knows exactly what it wants and commits to it 100%. And the game that really brought everything together was Loop Hero. The gameplay opened my eyes so much. Here's a game that took familiar elements but twisted them into something fresh and exciting. And it made me realize that I wasn't doing that for Duck Norris Tales. I was just reskinning concepts that worked in other games, hoping they would magically work in mine. And I have fallen into this trap thinking that if I just made more content, more guns and more enemies, the game would suddenly become fun. But Loop Hero showed me that sometimes less is more, as long as what you have works together perfectly. So when I started working on Duck Norris Tales, I was dead set on making it a Metroidvania. But you know what? Sometimes your game tells you what it wants to be, and you just need to listen. And I kept fighting the urge to make it faster and more arcade style because it wasn't my original vision. The whole explore every corner of the map thing was making my game feel flat and mechanical. And the gun felt pointless because there was no urgency to use them. The enemies were just obstacles rather than engaging challenges. The breakthrough came when I finally let go of my preconceptions, leaning into action arcade elements instead of forcing that Metroidvania structure, and it transformed everything. Suddenly the game had energy, and the guns felt impactful because they served a purpose in this faster paced environment. The art still mattered, but now it was enhancing the gameplay instead of trying to carry it. And looking back, I can point out 3 major lessons from this experience. First, don't get caught up in the details that you lose sight of the core experience. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that more features equal better game. But if the foundation isn't fun, no amount of polish will fix that. Second, be willing to let your game evolve. And your initial vision might not be what the game needs to be. And that's okay. It's about compromising and discovering what your game actually wants to be. And finally, understand the difference between decoration and design. Art, sound, and special effects should enhance the gameplay, not just hide its flaws. And honestly, Duck Norris Tales became something I never expected, but it's so much better for it. The game isn't just pretty, it's fun to play. And isn't that what we're all trying to achieve? And for any devs who might be stuck in the same spot, sometimes it's best that you can just take a step back and really look at what you're creating. Not what you want it to be, but what it is right now. And if it's not working, be brave enough to change course and pivot. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far and you're interested in optimizing things and becoming better, I've created a new Discord server for like-minded people who wants to take this journey to the next level, and you can find it in the links below. If you enjoyed this video, please leave it a like and a comment. It will really help me with the algorithm and help the channel grow. If you enjoyed this video, you'll enjoy this video as well. Thank you so much, and remember, just take it one day at a time, and I'll see you in the next video.